All right, folks, check this out. I'm standing here with Roy. I think he had a hand in building this 43 car. Now, Roy, let me get the specs on this car. You and your company built this car, right? Or did Petty's Garage build this car?
Petty's Garage built this car.
Okay.
The car is owned by a business partner, myself, Boris Benuti, and myself, Roy Gobzinski.
All right.
Okay. We were on a hunt looking for parts years and years ago, about 2008, 2009, and we stumbled across the motor and found out it was indeed one of the motors that Petty had in his stable back in '64.
Oh,
it's the
wow.
number 11 motor that they had
right.
down there. So
Nice.
the thought was to make something out of the motor, you know, build it in a car and all that kind of stuff. So we had talked to a lot of engine builders and stuff, Cotton Owens, Junior Johnson, got a hold of the Petty Racing Group.
Okay.
They had no clue what they could do with it or anything like that. So finally we got a hold of a gentleman by the name of Herb McCandless. He used to be a driver for Sox and Martin.
Okay.
So I met him at a show one day. I says, Herb, I know this guy for 25 years. So I showed him the pictures. He said, you know what you got here? I said, I have no idea. That's why I'm bringing you the pictures.
All right.
So he says, I think you got a NASCAR Hemi here because
Wow.
the wired up freeze plugs and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So he just had a discussion with the Petty's Garage. They just started it. He said, you call this guy in the morning. Tell him who sent you. And pretty much the rest is history. They took the project under advisement, and
Yeah.
Richard and Dale Inman supervised the building of this car. So it's as close as you can get to the real thing
See.
back in the day. So
All right. So
Yeah.
what cubic inch did they use on those Hemis back then?
that's 426.
Okay.
Dead on. It's got
Wow. Original 426 Hemi, folks. You don't see those every day.
it's got NASCAR pistons, 13.5 to 1 in it.
Yeah.
So it's got plenty of thump. It's got a factory cam in it.
All right.
Correct experimental intake manifold that was used back in '64.
Nice, man.
And it's got a super speedway transmission that we got from Cotton Owens.
I'd like to see the intake.
So-
I ain't gonna make you take the air cleaner off or nothing, but
It's not that big and elaborate because they had to run pretty much stock appearing stuff at that point in time.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, I mean,
Those are rare parts, though, man.
very much so.
Yeah, I mean,
and
you can't go nowhere and buy stuff like that.
no,
No way.
it was a pretty good part search trying to find all this stuff,
Yeah.
you know, over the course of time. And you know, my partner and I, we just said we got to bring this thing back to history. It's all about the history of NASCAR.
Yes,
It's got to be preserved.
Yes, sir.
So it was
Yes,
kind
sir.
of a major quest to take this upon, and
I
a
bet
lot
it
of time and energy. So
A lot of photographs taken
That
of
as
the
well.
original to come back and duplicate something like this, you know, and to get it just right.
correct.
Man, we honor you for preserving it, sir.
No problem.
That is
no
awesome.
problem at all. I just wish
thank you, sir.
my business partners here to see this at the same
Yeah,
time.
Okay. Well, all right. You know where you can find us on YouTube. This will go worldwide, sir.
Very good.
The rest of the world will get to see what you've done.
And we did have Dale Inman and Maurice Petty sign it. We
Yeah.
got a certificate of authenticity and everything, and we're
Okay.
working on getting Maurice to give us a certificate. That is the last known Hemi that Maurice Petty ever laid his hands on.
Wow,
That's it
okay.
right there. So that's the
Nice,
end of an
man.
era. You know it.
Yeah, that's wonderful history. So what do we got here on the side of it? Champion spark plugs,
Mhm.
pure airlift, number 43, Patterson Motors, the big Plymouth. Man, that's a beautiful car.
The Patterson Motor story behind that is Richard had a friend in Daytona that put that Patterson Motors on there for the Daytona 500 and the Firecracker 400 back in the day. That's the only time it's ever been on the car.
Really? Well, all right.
So that was a
Now we
specific thing he wanted to have put in
yeah,
there as
now
well.
we got rare history going
Exactly.
on. That's cool.
Uh,
Very cool. Let's look at the interior right quick.
Yeah.
Now-
the deal what they had back in the day, and everybody says, well, where's your bucket seats at? Well, they didn't have bucket seats in '64.
Right, okay.
They had 64 buckets later,
Man,
but they had to have a bench seat.
they just took the dang
Took
other side
took
of
the
it
other
out.
side out.
Wow.
Now, the problem that Richard had with this car when they were racing it and everything was the fact of the matter that he was wanting to slide up the bank like that because they were getting major speeds out of this car.
Okay.
So they put that little bolster in there, that steel roll bar, and the problem was he kept sliding over the top of the darn thing.
Wow.
So Dale Inman come up with the idea to take a 4x4 block of wood, wrap it in an army blanket, put it on there.
Okay.
That could brace himself well enough to keep him from, you know, sliding up the car, and that fixed the whole deal.
Now, I could just imagine what the G-force is running around a track that hard, you know.
Oh yeah.
He probably was sliding across the
Oh, yeah.
seat there, you know, getting all out of shape with the shifter and the wheel.
He said he had a
I
lot
can
of things
imagine.
on. He had too many things on his hand to worry about sliding out the
Yeah.
passenger side door.
Oh,
So
yeah. old school cage in it.
Oh yeah.
But all
Yeah.
that stuff is built back in the day, just like that.
That's the way they wanted it.
That's cool.
Absolutely.
Well, all right, sir. We appreciate you showing it to us,
Yeah.
man.
Good
Thanks.
good experience with the whole thing, and
Yes, sir.
hoping everybody can enjoy it.
We love the history of NASCAR.
You bet.